Oops. Hello, welcome everybody. I am Mitch and this is Unseen Universe. We are back, guys. We are back finally. We're about a month late, but we finally got here in the end. Life has almost turned itself back the right way up for me, and we're ready to get started and crack on with some new content and some nice live streams. Speaking of which, tonight is the first one of a new series that I'm doing of Spotlight, where we bring you some of the faces, characters from around the bug community, get them in here, we'll have a bit of a chat. It's all very relaxed. It's not like Paxman, honest, Thomas. It's not going to be anything too serious. We're all just here to have a laugh and find out a little bit more about some of our favourite people from around Soto. Tonight, the first one in Spotlight, Thomas Doggett-Hill, Ants on a Rock. He has elbowed his way to the front of the queue, mainly because obviously the upcoming Ant exhibition in Sheffield is this Saturday. So first, before we bring our esteemed guest on, you know what I'm talking about. It's the man himself. It's my right-hand man, my partner in crime, helping me, helping you, helping everybody. It's Gavilar, Impossible Invert.
Hey, yo.
All right, dude.
Yeah, not bad.
How's it feel to be back? We're back in the Unseen Universe.
Finally, yeah.
How's it going, dude? It's all right? You all right?
Yeah,
Good. Gab was supposed to be here today, but he skived off. I had to clear the table of C's show stock that was still on the table, waiting for him to sort out. It's all there. And it's ready to just be packed away again, ready for this show. So, speaking of the show, without further ado, we're here to talk about Thomas, Ants on a Rock. Honestly, this guy, if you don't know anything about Thomas, honestly, or Ants on a Rock, I don't know. You've been living under a rock. I don't know about anybody else. So anyway, without further ado, let's bring him on. It's Thomas, Ants on a Rock. Here he is. Hello.
You all right?
Hello, everyone.
How's it going, Thomas? You all right, mate?
Yeah, really well, thank you. Bit tired, but I'm all good.
I must say you look. I'd like to say you look pretty fresh, but you look like you've been working day and night for about 2 weeks solid.
Yeah, that's probably about right. Yeah, I'm running on the energy drink at the minute.
Oh, there you go, Gav. You've got a partner there, man. I can't drink energy drinks, you see. They give me massive headaches. So that's why I'm.
Yeah, I don't enjoy it. I shouldn't drink it, but I need something at the minute.
Well, it's good to have you on, man. Now, I know we were supposed to have this. We were supposed to do this like a week or so ago, weren't we? I penciled you in like weeks and weeks and weeks ago, didn't I? And obviously, my life got completely turned upside down after Christmas, and then seas, and then basically, I've only just managed to start getting organised again. So I wanted to shoehorn you in really, really quickly, so we could talk about the Ant Show, obviously. Now, I would love to talk about all things ants, all things Thomas, and all the passions in your life, my friend. I'm sure we could talk all night about all the things that you're interested in, because I know you're a man who has a very, very active mind, and I know you like to get your fingers in lots and lots of pies. And I know that you're always busy. You've always got ideas and projects going on, and yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. So we'd love to speak more to you, but obviously you could go at any point. Your phone might die, or we know you've still got a heck of a lot of things to sort out for the show. So we'll just treasure this little time we've got with you tonight, and then maybe later on in the year we'll have you back and we'll talk more about ants and the hobby in general, and you know, the way things are moving forward for the ant community, because it's taken us by storm. We've had the jumping spider invasion last year and the last 2 years. I've got a feeling 2023, 2024 is going to be the ant invasion into the invert community, and we welcome you guys with open arms, my friend. So for those of you who don't know Thomas, or very little about Thomas, do you want to just give us a quick kind of bio-up about yourself and what you get up to, my friend?
Yeah, okay. So I am Tom, or Thomas. I started Ants on the Rock just as a small YouTube channel, mainly just out my own hobby. I had some ant colonies and I was filming it, and I thought I'd save the memory on my phone. It just sort of expanded from there, and I started the business last year. And I thought there was sort of, like you say, ants weren't really there. Like in the invert world, as an ant keeper, if you say I'm an ant keeper, even to a tarantula keeper or something, they're kind of like, that's a bit weird. You know what I mean? And I kind of felt like, we were there, but we were on the edge, and we need to just be shoved into the middle. And that's what I want to do, really. And I thought about putting a show on probably a good 2 years ago. It first came to my mind, and we got into it, and I just started ploughing in on my own and got it done. The first one we did last year was really good. It was like a good learning step for me, a good little platform. And then
Weymouth or Bristol?
Bristol.
Bristol.
That was Bristol. Yeah, last year. And like I say, it was a good show, but it was like the start, if you know what I mean. It was low budget. It was the start of us getting in there, getting our name out. And now this one, we've just sort of, I don't know how to explain it. It's just turned into.
It's gone crazy, man. It's gone mental.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it has. Like, we ended up booking a second room for it because we had so much interest. And yeah, both stages are packed all day. We've got events and entertainers and face painting and loads of awesome stuff going on throughout the day. It's more like, rather than like a normal sort of trade show, it's more like I think you said it actually, more like a festival celebration of all the amazing things in our hobbies, and you know, and I think that's more what I'm about, more like enjoying it and showing people like the fun side of it rather than trying to sell products, because I don't sell that much really.
Well, you say that, but you told me once you got a little bit of exposure during just the Christmas fundraiser, you got quite a few orders coming in. You got a few people like messaging you, because you know, to be fair, even though I know you do know a lot of people in the community, there's a heck of a lot of people who who didn't know you, who didn't know Ants on a Rock, and you know, and you really have just, you know, you've torpedoed your way into the community this year. I feel
it feels a bit like it, yeah.
I think so, and I think so, and you know what? That's why I think the Sheffield show has basically just gone crazy. I remember we were talking. I mean, I got to know you like early last year, I think, and we started having a few chats, a few conversations. I was like jumping on your streams a little bit. We started, you know, we were quite like-minded. We got into quite a lot of conversations, and we got to know about the Ants exhibition in Sheffield, and I put my name down as a trader, and I think it was like the third trader or something that you had on the list, three or four traders that you had on the list. Now there's how many traders? About 30 traders now.
Over 30, yeah.
Over 30 enough now. I know there's a few traders in the chat. I mean, my good mate Christoph, Tarantula Room's there. Emil, Spider Planet's there. Obviously Mantis and I, we've got there. Michael, we've got myself, we've got you. We'll talk about what you're going to be, what you're going to have on offer at the show in just a minute. I think we've got Charlotte. Charlotte's Webs is going to be there. We've got Daisy. We've got Daisy. Opal Geckos is there, and there's Phil. Incredible inverts and other animals, and the list goes on. So there's quite a few. There's quite a lot of traders who have come over from the invert shows into your show, and it's just gone. It's like you said, you've had to get another room. That's how crazy it's gone. Yeah, it's really cool. I didn't expect it to sort of take off in this way. Obviously, it was my dream for it to, but I never thought it would actually happen this fast. I thought it would be many years down the line before people really started taking notice and wanting to come along. I'm pretty much like, I have got a team of people which do help me, and I do have a committee which help me like make decisions. But most of the work myself, you know. So it's sort of a dream come true to actually make it happen. Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. So this is the Sheffield show, which for anyone who doesn't know, I forgot to put the date on my little ticker I've got at the bottom, but it's on the 11th of this month, which is this Saturday.
Yeah.
This Saturday, guys.
Yeah.
Now, traditionally, obviously, we know that shows. Yeah, so that shows are usually on a Sunday. So for everyone out there who's thinking of maybe going, this is Sheffield, guys. So for all you northern folk who are always complaining that there's never any shows up north, this is your opportunity. And it's like Thomas says, not only is this an opportunity to go and maybe interact with some of your favorite traders, see what, you know, if you've never been able to go as far as like, you know, some of the more southern sort of shows. But it's not just that. It's like you say, you've got exhibitions, you've got some lectures. Tell me about the lectures that you've got going on there, Thomas.
Okay, so we've got two different stages, and they're very, very different. The first stage, like you say, is the lectures. We've got, I'm going to have to remember their names. It's Dr. Sophie Eveson on in the morning. She's going to be talking about, her lecture is actually called Just Lots of Things I Know About Ants. And she's been studying ants out in the field for many years. Loads of great knowledge, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. And then we're going to have the raffle at midday on the main stage. And then in the afternoon, we've got Professor Elva Robinson. Again, she's been in so much crucial research over the last few years in ant development and evolution and things like that. And she's going to be doing a really interesting talk in the afternoon. And actually, whilst we're on the subject of her, the raffle that we've got going alongside, half the money made from the raffle goes back into the next show, and then half the money, like the remaining half, goes is being donated to her and one of her research projects. Yeah,
wow, fantastic.
So it kind of gets back in. Yeah,
that's amazing.
And then the second stage. Go on, sorry.
No, I was just about to say you've got some you've got some real headliners there. So so she's. I really want to get to talk to you about the kind of research that she does and stuff, but maybe we'll save that for another stream, because I'm all about the research. So that would be fascinating to. So
Maybe
what
that could be one of the
university
paper.
You are.
Maybe that could be one of the paper.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ones.
So yeah, we'll keep that under our hat for a minute, Gav. So yeah, what university is she from? Did you say, or did I miss that?
I have to remember. I believe it's the University of York, possibly.
Okay, cool. All right, so not some Mickey Mouse University then.
No, she's quite what's the word? Quite renowned in the ant world for her research.
Yeah, good, absolutely.
That's
Sounds
the word.
exciting. Yeah. So something I was never. So yeah, excellent. So you've got the couple of talkers on the main stage. Pardon? Are we there?
Oh, hang on. There we go. I think my signal's awful. I live on this island. It's awful.
I know, and I really want to talk to you more about that as well. There's so many things I want to talk to you about, Thomas, but obviously I am conscious of time. So what I thought I'd do is talk more about the exhibition side of things first, because that's really why we're here, to raise that awareness and try and push that out there a little bit, because there's not much time left to go, obviously, we really need to start pushing, because. Well, it leads me to my next question. I know that the tickets are available. Early entry tickets were available online. Is that? But you can pay on the door as well, I assume. So.
The early entry tickets is strictly online, and that's because I won't have the ability to sell the early access tickets at that early time, if you know what I mean. It just kind of doesn't make sense. So if you want to get in early, I think there's only 2 early access tickets left. You need to buy those ones online, and then you can come in at 9:50 rather than 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Okay.
But then all the other tickets you can get on the door from 10. We have a card machine on the door as well, so we can accept card on the door.
Excellent. Perfect. So sounds like you've got it all under control, Thomas. Now I know it hasn't always been that way. Obviously, you've learned from previous shows, and you now have. I know for a fact that it's you always had the bigger things covered, but obviously it's all the little details, the little things that are still very, very important, and hold the whole thing together that you could easily kind of overlook. So because I think you more or less do this, you've more or less done all this by yourself, I think, haven't you? So.
Pretty much. Like I say, I've got a small team that do help me out with bits and bobs, and they're there for support if I need it. But I just plow on night by night and get it done. Yeah,
good man. I'll tell you what we'll do. Shall we say a lot to a few people? Because I don't.
I can't actually see the chat, so I don't even know who's here or who's saying hi.
I think Gav's been starring, so we'll just say hello to a few people. I don't know whether you want to bring a few people up, Gav, or I can just list off a few people in the chat.
I didn't star that many.
Okay.
I didn't think you were actually doing the hellos, because obviously you just gone straight into.
Yeah, well, I wanted to just.
I've got a few.
I felt like Thomas had waited long enough with all our bravado at the beginning, so. So there we go. Simon's in the house. How's it going, Simon? You all right, dude? Greg's in. How's it going, Greg? You all right, mate? Thomas is in the house. How's it going, Thomas? Nina's in the house. How's it going, Nina? You all right? Mandy's in. How's it going, Mandy? There you go. Ants arrived safe and well. There you go, Thomas. Mandy's obviously a customer of yours right there. Invert Kingdom UK, Francis and Ebbs. How's it going, guys? You all right? Go. Francis is on Hogwarts. It's our Claire. How's it going, Claire? Speaking of Claire, is it all right if you drop a few links in for Thomas's website and Facebook page and YouTube channel as well?
The one that I dropped in earlier was for the Facebook page.
Okay, so I know you're on Facebook, Thomas. You've got the Ants on a Rock group and page. Obviously, there's your personal page. There's the Ants on a Rock YouTube channel, and there's also, and then obviously the Ants on a Rock website. Are you on Instagram or something like that?
I'm pretty much on every major platform. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Discord, Patreon, Twitter, just about everywhere.
You're doing it all, man. You're doing it all. I drew the line at Instagram, Facebook. That's about it, and YouTube. That'll do me, man. You know, I can't keep up with what I've got, let alone doing more stuff. You know, so.
Yeah, I can barely do it all. I do have an admin guy which does my Instagram and TikTok for me, just because I can't do it all, like you say.
Yeah. Okay, well that's good. So Peter's in the house. How's it going, Peter? So Gemma's in the house. How's it going, Gemma? So if anybody, Jackie's in. Hi, Jackie. If anyone's got any questions, please feel free to hit them up. Put a big Q at the beginning so Gav can pick out and star your questions, and then we'll hit Thomas with some questions. It doesn't have to be about the ant exhibition. Thomas is a very, very knowledgeable man. I don't know anybody who knows more about ants than this guy. So yeah, I think if anyone's got any questions about ants in general, ant keeping, I think we will do a little bit of that as well, Thomas. So I know you sell the kits, because I know obviously I gave away a kit during the fundraiser. Yep. I think so. You do the full starter kits with the colony, a beginner starter colony, and all the paraphernalia, bits and pieces. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I can do. So it all kind of started from something completely different. I wasn't even going to have a shop originally. I wanted to help people learn how to do it correctly without making all the mistakes that we all make at the start. So I started my subscription service. And basically every month I would send you pretty much everything you need, like your foods, a learning guide to literally tell you what to do, like step by step. Like everything you need would be there every month. You'll get the nest when you need it, the ants when you need it, and it's all done in the right time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's sort of it's another extension of that. And like I thought, like people are going to need like top ups and stuff as well as what I'm providing them. So that's how the shop started. Yeah. And then we thought, well, people might not always want to subscribe, so they might just want that one-off bundle of everything. So that's pretty much what we've done. I do several different kits, and the one which I'm actually the proudest of, and it actually is probably it looks the worst, I'll say that, is the budget one. And it's as simple as just a plastic tub. And I'll be honest, the plastic tub is worthless. Like, you may as well not even get it in the kit. The rest of the stuff kind of makes up the money. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, we give you the barrier, the sugars, the protein, the learning guide, all of that lot. But the tub really, for me, is like the main mistake people make with ants is putting them straight into a large nest thinking they'll grow into it. Ants don't tend to grow into their new space. They tend to expand from one space into another, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they'll fill up one space and then move into another space, sort of thing. So.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you go putting a small colony in a large nest, you're at likeliness of causing mold or just issues within that nest, which aren't going to be good for the colony. So my favorite method for all my ants, I've got about 24 colonies on these shelves here. Every single one of them is in tubs and tubes, just because it's so much easier and more suitable. You know, you can grow them, manage them much better. And I kind of want to show people that that's all you need to start with. Again, it's more about the education than the shop for me. It's more showing people the correct way of doing things rather than the flashy way of doing things.
Yeah. Well, I do exactly the same. I sell a range of things on my website or at the shows, you know, from like starter kits, and like you, the starter kits they're basically just a plastic pot with a fabric mesh lid. It's cheap and cheerful. It costs like a pound, sort of thing. You know, it doesn't look very pretty. It doesn't look very pretty on the shelf, but it's perfectly functional. It does the job. And it's a low budget option for people who have never had a mantis before or an invert before, and they want to see if they can keep it alive for longer than a week before they start spending 30-40 pounds on a more beautiful enclosure, you know, like sort of thing you see behind me, sort of thing, you know. So I mean, some people come in and they're just like, no, I don't want that, it looks horrible, I want something beautiful, you know, and they'll spend like 100 quid on a massive, gorgeous vivarium, fill it full of stuff, and get a mantis this size, put it inside a vivarium this big, spend 100 quid on it, and then it dies within a week, and they're just like, oh, I don't know what happened. It's like, well, you know, and then I have to break it down, you know, at every step of the way as to why they should have done this or why they should have done that, or, you know, because probably like you, in and of itself, putting a small invert inside a large enclosure isn't actually a real problem. In and of itself. The real problem is whether or not your animal's gonna find food and things. You know, the basic fundamentals like that. These are the issues. Putting something so small in a large enclosure, and I guess it's a similar sort of thing for you. So.
Exactly that. In fact, it is something I commonly come across on like Facebook and things like that. Is the test tube will be there, and then the nest is there, and then the outworld's there, and they've put the food in the outworld, and they're wondering why they're not going all the way through to go and get it. It's because they've only got like 3 or 4 workers, and they're not, you know, they won't travel far.
They'll only forage out to a small area, won't they? So,
that's it. It's just like, go on, sorry.
No, I was going to say, so let's pretend like, well, let's not pretend, because I've never kept ants, like officially kept ants properly anyway, other than like when I was a kid, like we all used to keep ants, you know, in jars and make little makeshift like homes and stuff like that. So if I wanted to just like, you know, let's say we've never had ants before, we're really, really interested, we don't know where to start, like Can's just said, I just don't know where to start. Where do we start? We're confronted with your website. So what do we do? You know, what do we go for? What are we thinking?
If you're confident that you want to just jump in and get some ants, I would recommend a budget starter kit with ants that would come with a small colony of Lasius niger, which are our black common garden ant. They're really hardy, really easy to care for. I send a full learning guide. It will talk you through about 3 to 6 months, depending on how fast they grow. And it's like every step, it would give you your feeding schedule, tell you how to advance your feeding schedule as they grow, things like that. And again, it will give you your first set of foods, all your sugars. Obviously, you'll need to replenish your proteins more often, but the bottle of sugars we send you should last you probably 6 months or more. It's got a 6-month lifespan once you put it in the fridge, but I've actually had it for a lot longer, but we have a 6-month life, you know what I mean, just to be safe. But if you're not confident, then there's the Let's Chat button on the website, and just send me a message. It's comes straight through to my phone, and I pretty much answer it straight away. Like, it's my passion. It's what I love to do. Like, more than selling stuff, is just to talk to people about ants. You know?
Absolutely. So let's say we buy this starter colony of Lasius niger. You'll get, how many will we get with that? We'll get a queen, obviously, and she'll already have a handful of workers already like busying around for her. What sort of size, sort of setup, what sort of thing will we get? We'll just get like a small container with a tube or something.
That's the size of the container.
Yeah.
So about almost the size of my head.
Yeah.
Kind of. You'll get a pack of sand with that, way more sand than you need. That's for good reason, because if it gets dirty, you'll want to take it out and replenish it, make it look nice again. You'll get 3 test tubes with the cotton balls and instructions on how to set them up correctly. And obviously the ants. So you get the barrier mix, a tub to put the barrier mix in, and a paintbrush to brush it on. Yeah. You put that around the outside, you put your test tube with the ants in, and you have the option of, if you want to put water, like fill one up with water completely so they've got extra water, or if you want to do another nesting tube, put it next to it so that they can expand into it. Again, that's not really needed until they need that extra space, but you've then got those test tubes all ready to do it. And it comes with the sugars. You've got your cotton balls to put your sugars on so that they won't drown, because that's another common issue we come across. And you've got your protein. So it's pretty much everything you need. Like I say, I try and include it all. I try and, tweezers and a pipette and all of that lot as well.
Yeah. So that'll last you about 6 months, did you say? And then what? You need to maybe think about bolting some additional kind of space.
Yeah.
Then after that.
Yeah. So the best thing about tubs and tube setups is when you're ready to move them, you can literally just pick up the test tube that they're nesting in and attach it to another nest or whatever setup that you're going to use.
Yeah.
I do sell more expensive setups as well, like proper nests and stuff. But I sort of, in my head, I go through stages of tubs and tubes and then move them to a proper nest.
Absolutely, yeah. So let's stick with the last year's Niger. We'll talk a little bit about a few more things that you've got yourself. But we'll stick with the last year's Niger. What sort of colony size would you expect a fully mature colony to get to, like the last year's Niger?
Fully mature.
How long would that take?
Oh, okay. Fully mature takes a good couple of years, 2 to 3 years, and you could probably reach 8,000 to 10,000 workers.
Nice.
Lasius niger are very long-lived as well. The queens
they're very active as well. I guess that's why they're a good species to have, because they're really busy all the time, and you can see them working all the time. So
yeah, very, very active. They're not nocturnal, which is great, because those ants are kind of, you have to be up late to see them. But yeah, they're active all the time. But not just that, they can't bite or sting you in any way, not like Myrmeciaruba or many of our other ant species that we have. They're really friendly. They're forgiving as well, which is the main thing. I've got quite a few, I would like to say, younger students and people which might have more difficulties, and they're quite forgiving with, if you make a mistake, if you drop them, those sorts of things, then they're quite, they'll survive. Whereas other ant species might just say that's enough and never lay for you again.
Yeah. So if we'll finish the story with the last year's Niger. If let's say everything goes to plan, you get a fully mature colony, it reaches its healthy full potential. How long will the queen last then? Because obviously the colony will only last as long as the queen, right?
Yeah.
So,
yes.
So how long will that sort of last? In an ideal world and everything's perfect.
In an ideal world and everything's perfect, Lasius niger have been known to live up for 30 years.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
That is amazing.
The queen can live up to 30 years.
Wow.
The workers live for about 6 months.
Yeah. But that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah. they replenish faster. Yeah.
So So I'm curious now about I want to learn more about the Nigers now. So how many different types of workers are there at the Nigers? Because I know you're going to get your foragers, and then you're going to get your cleaners, or the ones that babysit the young, the larvae and things like that. And then you're going to get ones that go out and forage, or the fighters, the soldier ant, how many different types are there for?
Okay, so it's slightly different with Lasius niger.
Okay. Of course
So
it is.
the types that you're thinking of is stuff like leaf cutters, where they're really forget the word now. Polymorphic, that's the word,
Okay.
where they have different sized workers for different sized jobs. You have really tiny workers around the brood, larger workers with the bigger jaws go out and cut the leaves.
Yeah.
That's the same in, say, Mesobarbarus. The major workers go out with the larger jaws, crush the seeds, do the bigger kind of lifting jobs, and the smaller workers do lighter foraging work and tend to brood and stuff. Now, the thing about most ants is it's not actually done on, like, you know, in films, you know, I think it's the film Ants, where they come out and they're baby ants and they get given a pickaxe or a helmet or whatever. And it's like, you're a soldier, you're a digger, that's your job for life.
Yeah.
That's not the way it is. Younger workers, now this is fairly recent research done over in the States by Professor Walter T. I've got to butcher his name, T. Shinkle, something like that. He's an absolutely amazing guy. He's the guy that does the aluminium ant casting, the nest. Absolutely amazing guy. And the research that he's done recently shows that it's actually to do with the age of the worker. So younger workers, like freshly hatched, will be the ones that tend to the brood at the bottom of the nest, whereas the older workers, closer to their time of passing anyways, will be the ones to leave the nest and go foraging.
Okay, so they're more expendable because they're older and, you know.
Exactly.
Okay,
Like,
makes sense. Yeah. This is what's wrong with society, you know. Send the old people out to do the work, you know. Come on.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing piece of research he's doing. It's he thinks that they have like a navigation system. They can tell how deep they are within the. Yeah, well, Mantis Garden, you get your information from me. What do you expect? They think that they can tell how deep they are within the nest without ever knowing how deep they are, if you know what I mean. They've just got that inbuilt sensor. So it's really interesting stuff. I won't go into it too much more because I don't want to ruin Mantis Garden's video.
We'll all look out for Mantis Garden's video to find out more. So
it's going to be a good one. I know this is going to be a good one for Mantis Garden. So
cool. Yeah, I've got so many. In fact, I think I'm behind on nearly all of Mantis Garden's videos. So
it's hard. Like, it's so hard. I end up putting one in the background now.
Yeah, it's too prolific, man. I can't keep up, you know. It's like some people have got no better to do than make videos all day long, haven't they? You know what I mean? It's like So speaking of which, let's move on to so thanks for that, Thomas. I just read that was a nice, like, from start to finish, we had a nice thing, and I know a lot of people in the chat really appreciated that, because obviously most people obviously, as you know, don't really know anything about keeping ants, about and behavior like that, which we could speak all night about the research that's going on right now about the behavior, and, you know, how scientists and economists are all looking to ants and the you know, the community aspect of their living to just help us be better at doing so many things in society. And you know, we often look to the natural world in many aspects anyway, and look into ants, the communal species like termites, ants, and various other things, bees, obviously, and the organization and the whole, like, single organism theory, you know, the whole thing, like, which we won't go into, but we'll definitely there's so much exciting information and research being done, and has been done for a lot of years. It's just that people aren't really aware of what's, you know, unless you're really into it, you there's no reason why people would know what's going on behind the scenes with this.
Professor Elder Robinson's talk is actually titled "What Humans Can Learn from Ants." And it's exactly that. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I'm going to miss all these lectures because I'm going to be stood at my tables in a completely different room. So thanks for that, Thomas.
Yeah. On the second stage, though, we've got an ant keeping demonstration in the morning. So that will be amazing for anyone looking to get into ants and not knowing what to do or how to start. And then in the afternoon, we've got a bioactive demonstration to show you how to build a bioactive setup for ants.
Yeah, that'll be good, because I think I'm just off from the second stage, so I'm hoping I'm going to be able to catch of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be good, because to be honest, I've got no idea how busy this ant show is going to be. I mean, you know how many online tickets you've sold, but how many people are going to turn up on the day and pay on the door is obviously a complete unknown.
Not really.
So hopefully we're going to get. Hopefully you'll exceed like 1,000 people through the door. That would be amazing, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't know what to say. I'd be speechless. I'm speechless just thinking about that. It wouldn't happen.
I mean, you just never know. You just never know, because quite a few people have been pushing it out there, and because Sheffield's quite. I know it's up north, but it's quite south. It's South Yorkshire as opposed to too far up north. So if you look at the map of the whole country, Sheffield's actually not too bad located, really. It's quite a good location. So I'm hoping it's going to draw a lot of people in from all around. So shall we? So Spooky Dukes, Dawn has got a question. I think we'll bring a few other people in to ask some questions, because I could basically just sit here all night asking you stuff, Thomas. So obviously it's only fair if we allow a few people in the chat to ask a few questions. So Dawn says, "Can I ask a quick question? We had pale yellowish ants in our garden last year. Do you know what they are?"
Lasius flavus, more than likely the yellow meadow ant. Close relation to the Nigers.
Yep, just the yellow version. So
yeah, pretty much. They mainly live underground. You don't see much activity above ground. They're not like the red stinging ants, but yeah, they're not really to be messed with either. They can have multiple queens in the colony, and they will grow to huge numbers, but they just kind of live underground, and to be honest, they're a bit boring to keep, I think. Not boring, but you know what I mean? You don't see them very often.
Yeah, well, it's like anything else, isn't it? It's like, doesn't matter what kind of inverts you keep, the ones that are out and about and more active are obviously always more interesting to keep. I mean, like things that are just burrow, and that they have their charms, but but for the most part, you're just keeping a pot of dirt, aren't you? So let's face it.
Yeah. I've got a lot of them.
Yeah. Any more questions, Gav?
Just checking out.
So anyway, I hope everyone else is all right. Who else have we got?
No, it's not really a question, like more of a statement. But
Bioactive ant setup, cool. Yeah. So you did mention that you had some bioactive setup displays and things going on at the ant show as well, Thomas.
Yeah, I'm bringing quite a few different exhibits, like big tanks of mine. I'm bringing now these aren't to be mistaken with the proper bullet ants. These are the Asian bullet ants, Diacama redudgeum. I'll be bringing my tank of them. They're still quite painful to sting, but not as painful as the proper ones. We've got a tank which I haven't actually got the ants in yet. Again, I've had this colony of Mesostructa in a tubs and tubes set up for quite a while. They've grown to a great size, so I'm going to put them in there and then, and you can see how they start digging their tunnels and things like that, which I think is quite an exciting part of it,
Very exciting. Yeah.
We're going to bring this one here, which is my leaf cutters.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about those shortly, because obviously, I mean, when anyone thinks of like ants or ants that are displayed, like if you go to any motor zoos or you know, that we have a place in Yorkshire called the Tropical World. They've got a long-standing tree cutter ants, leaf cutter ants. Sorry, there, and you can see them. You go in there, and they're almost right next to you in the tropical area. They've got like ropes, big long like ropes going from like certain parts, linking the tree and various other areas together. And they're just there, coming and going all the time. You can see them. They're right there.
Yeah. They have the viewing windows as well, don't they? So that you can see the fungus and all the inner workings of inside the nest itself. It's pretty impressive, is that one at Tropical World?
It's the one that everyone wishes that they had, but in reality, I think they are actually quite they're quite technically challenging, aren't they? I think, Thomas.
You have to keep them at very exact temperature and humidity, and if it kind of fluctuates a couple of degrees either way, you've had it. Basically, start again.
Yeah. So how long have you had your tree leaf cutters?
Not that long. Probably about 4 months.
Okay, well that's
probably
that's
about
okay.
4 months, maybe a little bit longer.
You're obviously doing something right. The jury's still out though, obviously. So we'll have to wait and see. So how big is your?
So we've got 3 pods.
Yeah.
We've got the 3 pods, and I'd say there's probably around 300 to 400 workers in there now. Wow. The fungus chamber is about half full, so it's doing really well.
Yeah, good. Wow, that's really cool, man. That's really cool. I need to. Do you show them very often? Because I think I've missed the last few of your lives. Is it something you focus on much in your?
I do. Life? Yeah. I mix it between the leaf cutters and the really big tank back there, which is 2 tanks connected by a bridge.
Yeah, is that the largest multi mixed mash tank on social media? I think you announced it as earlier. I think I saw it.
Yeah. I believe so. Like, it's got a lot of different stuff in it now.
Excellent. So what is in there?
What's in there? Sorry, my signal's gone really.
No, it's all right.
We've got 3 different species of ants. The Polyrhacus dives, Solenopsis fuga, and acorn ants, Terraformax. We've got darkling beetles, stick insects, 2 or 3 types of spiders. I can't really tell, they just kind of work their way in there. Obviously springtails. I think there's 8 different species of isopod in there at the minute. We've got vampire crabs, beetles, earthworms. I can't remember. Roaches. There's some domino roaches living in there. I can't remember, to be honest. I just keep putting things in.
So are you basically working out what you can put in there, making sure that it will live happily in there, and then just throwing it
in? So I do a lot of research before I just chuck things in. Don't worry, like I know sort of the tank that side is warmer than that side. So if they need a warmer, humid environment, put them in there. If they need slightly drier, more native environment, put them in there. But generally, they sort of walk between, like, you get beetles climbing over the bridge and all sorts going over. It's really cool. But I do a lot of research before putting things in. My master plan is to take out walls, replace them with glass, and just fill the insides with so much cool stuff. Like,
that does sound amazing, man. We would all love to live in a big glass a house with glass walls and fill it with amazing stuff. That would be amazing.
Exactly. But I'm mad enough to do it.
Well, you've only just
no preparation. I'll probably just knock down the wall and then have to.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, man, you have just recently moved into this new house. I'm not sure the missus is going to be too happy about you knocking down walls just yet.
Smashing them walls, yeah.
So the bridge, you only added that bridge. I think it was just a month or two ago, wasn't it? I remember you messaging me and showing me the bridge. It was like, I've just added this. They're crossing the bridge already. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Because I remember.
Yeah, it was almost instant. Sorry, keep interrupting.
No, you're all right. We've got quite a big lag, haven't we? So it's fine. It's fine.
What's my? Is that a question popping up?
Looks like Simon's got a question. How many species of leaf cutters are there on the market?
Oh, it's hard to say. Over here, it sort of fluctuates. The main genus is Atta, and then Acromyrmex. Acromyrmex are technically they're just a bit easier than Atta. Atta just expand and keep going, and they're crazy and they're bigger and they bite harder. So Acromyrmex is what I've got, a bit more sensible option. But there's a few different species in each genus on sale. The best place for leaf cutters is Ants Davy. He has many years of experience with leaf cutters. It's where I got mine from. Talks you through everything. He's really involved. Has a WhatsApp group full of amazing people. Yeah. So honestly, I couldn't tell you how many there are on the market at the minute, because it's just not something I track really. But I know there's quite a few different species on the market at the moment. At least 3 or 4 just on Ants Davy's website.
Okay, cool. So I guess
they do come with a bit of a price.
I guess with oh, hang on, Chris has got a question. Is setting up a bioactive for ants similar to setting up for any other invert, or is there something more special you need to do?
It kind of depends on your end goal. If you want to see the nest in space, see the tunnels and things like that, there's a few tips and tricks that I can give you whilst making it, like sticking bricks inside just to fill in that substrate space to force them to tunnel around that outside. Things like that are kind of taken in a bit more, but most of it is the same with ants.
Yeah. What do you house a bio setup in? Glass tank? It says canned.
Yes, I mainly use fish tanks. I always keep my eyes open for a cheap fish tank. If it's on the marketplace, I'm having it basically. And yeah, they're as good as gold.
Yeah, so I guess
I think it's all. Yeah.
So I guess providing they've got everything they need and they're happy with the situation they've got down, there's no need for them to ever go anywhere else apart from tank. Just keep it.
Yeah, kind of. You're so the ones behind me, the big tank behind me actually has a wire that goes in and out of the tank from the pump. So they do have the ability to leave whenever they want. And we do find the odd 1 or 2 wandering about. Normally we think that they're not moving out, they've got lost, if you know what I mean. They've just gone for a wander. And we're quite used to it now. Even the wife just puts them back. It's not an issue. But I've left that on purpose because originally we had the wire in from the start, but there was an issue with the pump and it sort of backfired, causing a little bit of a flood. And at that moment, they moved the entire nest up that wire and sat on top of the tank, obviously, because they still needed the heat and the room's slightly lower temperature to what they prefer. Yeah, so they do kind of stay around the tank, but we didn't want to take away that option of escape in case there is ever an issue.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. So how many species do you have currently then, Thomas? How many species do you unofficially have?
Unofficially, I think I've got 42 on my shelf at the moment.
Wow.
The thing is, so when I get, because obviously we keep them in test tubes for the shop.
Yeah.
When they get to the point where it's hard to feed in the test tubes, they go on a shelf in a tubs and tube setup until they get sold, just to make my life a little bit easier, you know. So I have a constant sort of rotation going. I have some empty, some full. Sometimes I haven't got another space. At the moment, I think I've got at least 4 or 5 empty units at the moment, but that's because everything's ready to come to the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got quite a lot. You could say I'm a bit addicted.
Yeah, well, you know what? You're in good company, Thomas, because we've all got way more than we can probably manage or should have, really, to be fair. So yeah, and it is basically you'll basically just spend your whole days just rearranging things, don't you? You're moving things around, things reorganizing, rehousing. That's probably one of the biggest parts of the hobby, isn't it? Especially if you're a supplier and a breeder like myself. I've got way more than I can handle at any one time, really, and I've never got enough space, and many things are always in inappropriate pots, or containers. They need to be preferably they should be in something larger, or you know what I mean? And you're just constantly you're constantly kind of pushing boundaries, and and this, that, and the other, and and it's a learning curve, isn't it? You learn over the years what you can push more than others. Some things are more susceptible to certain conditions than others. So, and I guess with the ants, you've learned over the years which species you can just kind of you can deal with on different levels.
Yeah.
But I guess this new house you've got, it's got much bigger premises. It's got bigger garden. You've got more. So was this move purely for the family, or was this purely so Ants on a Rock can go to the next level?
I'll be honest, it was more for my sake than anyone else's. No, it was for the wife, we can say. The wife, I think she was getting a bit fed up with it all being in a bedroom, because literally I had taken over every bit of space. I had moved cupboards out, and so I think she's glad to have the bedroom just completely hers. I've got my own kind of workspace, and it was well needed.
Yeah.
But it's giving us a lot more opportunities as well. Like you say, we've got a lot more space. I've got a second room that I'm hoping to smash into as well and expand my office into. And then we want to expand the garden into something and start wildflowers out there for the leaf cutters. And we've got some really cool ideas.
Yeah. Good.
It's been life-changing as well, I believe is the word.
Yeah. So this year's going to be onwards and upwards for Ants on a Rock. Then it's you're going to be pushing out even further. Is that? Do you think you're going to focus more on the? I guess obviously the shows now are going to get bigger and bigger. But obviously the website side of things as well. You want to kind of push more in all areas, or do you think you'll focus more on the shows as opposed to the other things? So it's hard, isn't it?
So it is hard, but I'd like to say I'm a man of a million talents and not much time. No, I'm going to pretty much do everything like I always do. I'm not going to slow down. I'm just going to tackle everything. I plan, without going into too much detail, we're expanding the shop further. We've got a few new ranges coming out, probably around the time of the Bristol show in early August. We've got a lot of new stuff happening on the shop, as well as obviously the shows. We've got 2 more shows this year, and we're already starting to plan the next year, 2024. But I've got a few other things that I'm sort of getting involved in as well. Obviously, I'm highly involved in the ant research side of things, and I can't say too much without my committee literally kicking my butt when I get off the stream. But we've got some really big plans that sort of, if you haven't seen ant keeping before, you definitely will after next year.
Cool. No, I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I'm excited to have got to know you, and it's going to be. I'm really looking forward to seeing you. You progress and rise. And I am also very particularly interested in the research side of things. So that will be definitely something I'll be picking your brains on. Maybe it's a later time, because I find the whole thing fascinating, really. The research that's being done, not only what we were talking about in terms of the societal basis of ants and how they work together as a community, like I say, in the single organism sort of theory, but all the other research that's being done as well. In terms of the formic acid and the various things that are being done. So it's very, very exciting stuff. So let's go back to the shows, I think, because obviously I don't know how long we're going to have you for, and I want to make sure that everyone's aware that this next show on Saturday, it's this Saturday, everybody, this Saturday. How much is it to get in, Thomas?
£5 per adult ticket.
And the kids are getting in for free?
Yeah, under 13s are free, and if you have a valid NHS card, it's 50% off your adult ticket as well.
Wow, that's fantastic. So that's this Saturday. £5, guys, £5, and for your money, you're not only going to get access to over 30 traders selling a whole range of things, not just ant stuff, but many of the traders who do the invert shows are going to be there, myself included, obviously Thomas included, and many others. We've got the face painting for the kids. Is there anything else going on for the kids as well?
We've got a few surprises lined up. Entertainment and things like that going to happen throughout the day without blowing the surprise. But yeah, I've kind of gone. I wanted to make it a special day for children or young people, not even children, because I know even when I was a teenager, if I had turned up to a show like that, I'd probably have less than a £5 in my pocket to go around and actually buy stuff. I was more about enjoying the show. So I wanted to sort of cater for that as well. So there's completely free things to just enjoy.
Yeah, brilliant. So not only that, we've got the raffle. So we've got how many prizes you've managed to scrape together now, Thomas?
26 prizes now.
26.
Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. That's amazing, that is, man. Well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations all around, man. It's just absolutely amazing. So we've got the face painting. We've got loads of other little surprises for the kids. Free for under 13s to get in. £5 to get in. It's from 10 till 4, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah.
And it's is it the Victoria Hall? Is it?
Yes. Right opposite the Crucible Theatre, apparently.
Yeah. Cool. Nice one. Nice. Yeah. I know exactly. I think I know exactly where that is. It's also is the Lyceum. The famous Lyceum Theatre is actually also opposite the Crucible Hall as well.
Okay.
So
That does ring a bell, actually. I've never been that far up the country. I went to Nottingham the other day, and that was literally the furthest I've ever been.
You went to where? Sorry, Nottingham.
Nottingham.
Okay. Oh, you didn't have that much further to go. It was only.
I know. I know.
We should have went all the way and gone to Sheffield, man. You know, you drove all that way to Nottingham, and then another 45 minutes, and you'd have been at Sheffield.
No, we went right to the top as well. Like we could almost see Sheffield.
You were probably really right near because my hometown. I'm from Chesterfield originally, and that's between Nottingham and Sheffield. So
yeah,
you're probably almost there. So so yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of time in Sheffield. Sheffield's quite dear to me. I did my PhD at Sheffield University. So I was there for, and then I did a postdoctoral research position there as well before I moved.
Wow.
So I was there I lived at Sheffield probably for about 7 years.
Wow.
So yeah, it's quite dear to me, Sheffield. Yeah. So, yeah, and I've been to the Crucible Theatre. I watched the what year was it? I think it was like 1995 semi-final snooker world championships. I went to see. I think it was Ronnie O'Sullivan against somebody. I can't even remember now. But
yeah,
so long ago. And I've been to the Lyceum Theatre as well, that's why I know where they are in proximity to each other. Now I don't know exactly where the Victoria Hall is. Is it quite an old building?
I believe it's a very old building.
I mean, it's called Victoria Hall. I think I know where it is, but I can't quite remember. So yeah. So what's the access like for that? Because Sheffield can be quite tricky.
Yeah, it's not amazing. So as you say, Sheffield can be quite tricky. There's not much parking outside of facilities, it seems. And that was the main thing I struggled to actually sort out. So we've located quite a few multi-story car parks and 24-hour car parks and things around. And we're also right next to the main bus interchange, and the main tram line comes through as well.
Yeah.
So we've done the best we can, but there's no parking within the city centre. Yeah. I did ring round to several places and try to arrange discounts for us as well, but I wasn't able to do that. I tried.
Yeah. I mean, that potentially could be the only issue for you in there is and I guess that's one of the things maybe you weren't considering when you first decided on the location. So
I mean, my problem, and this only occurred to me when it was mentioned to me, was I don't actually drive, so car things don't even come into my head, like parking and I've just hired this bus, and I've never done anything like this before because I just don't drive.
Yeah. But I think it'll definitely be quite high on the priority next time you choose location.
It's something I've already started looking for 2024. But yeah, so these are two of we got Kayla and Evie today.
Hi Kayla, hi Evie, hello. What's it like having a famous dad?
What's it like having a famous dad? I'm not that famous anyway. Thank you, darling. Okay. Okay.
Family man.
Yeah, I do love my kids.
Well, thank God for that.
Okay. Go on then, darling. Go find mummy. Well, you go find mummy.
She's upstairs.
We'll go find her. Oh, is she reading to Amy? Okay, that's fine. We've got Evie for a minute, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. What? How do the kids around the ants and stuff? How do they feel about having ants in the house?
They're completely fine with it. Kayla didn't like it to start with, and doesn't like getting a bit too close. But the rest of them, my middle child Amy, She absolutely loves them. She's got her own ant colony. She helps me feed the other inverts. Absolutely well into it. And then Evie here is quite happy pointing things out if we say, can you spot the spider and things like that. So she definitely enjoys it. She's not scared of it, which is nice. And it's never been an issue, you know.
Yeah, good. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Bless them. So Daisy wants to know, will there be someone in an ant costume?
They've been trying to convince me since the first one, since like I first said I was going to do one ages ago. Maybe. We'll say maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Greg wants to know, if I buy tickets online but I'm not at the show, can I still win? And how would I get my prize?
Yes. If you're not at the show to collect your prize, it will be sent to you the week following the show. So literally next week, as soon as I get back on my feet, sort of thing, I'll get it off in the post to you.
There you go. Good. Sorted. Yeah. So I had a question from a trader's perspective, Thomas.
Yeah.
How early can I get there and start setting up?
I'm glad you asked this, actually. It was meant to be 8:15 that I could allow the traders in, but because we added a second room,
That's too late, man.
Because we've added a second room, I've recently found out it's going to be slightly delayed to 8:35.
Okay.
Which is later than I was hoping for, but it's honestly the best I can do now.
Good, like an hour and a half set up. Okay.
You only got a couple of tables to be fine.
I've got 3 tables, I think. Have I got 2 tables or 3? I can't remember now.
3 we've got. If you need help, we do have lots of staff on hand to help people unload or set up for whatever they need as well. Yeah. So just sort of let me know, and yeah, right. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm not expecting it to be like Steve's, where it was just like it's instantly busy within the first 5 minutes. So
yeah. And you're forgetting, when I get into it. So before the Bristol show, I was running about like a madman, and I managed to set up like 100 and something odd tables in 40 minutes. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
We'll get it done, you know. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. So, so you're going to be there as a trader yourself, aren't you? So
I will be, but I'm going to be off and on my stall because I kind of need to be at other places as well.
Yeah,
but
well, that's what
I'll be about.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought you'd be way too busy, just like running around, solving problems all over the place, you know. So so I've anticipated that. So yeah, I've got a member of staff that's going to be on my stall helping out, and they're rotating round so they don't get too overwhelmed or bored. But yeah, so someone will be there, and I'll be there for like the crucial bits, like just after the raffle and things like that. She's pulling faces, isn't she? No, I am.
This is Kayla. She's my eldest. She's basically a mini me.
Yeah. Excellent.
Good sit. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Daddy's little girl, man. There you go.
Yeah, definitely. I've got 3 girls. I'm very lucky.
Yeah. Wow. You say that now, man. You say that now. Wait another 10 years, mate. Then you're in trouble.
Are you good, Jill? Thank you, Dan.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. So the show it's on Saturday, Jordan. It's on Saturday, Jordan. The 11th. There you go. Thanks, Si. So there you go. It's Saturday. It's in Sheffield. It starts at 10 o'clock. You can pay on the door. You can get your raffle tickets online. Are there any early entry tickets left online? Did you say?
Yeah, I think there's maybe 2, maybe 4. I know there's at least 2. There might be 4 early entry tickets left online.
Right.
And we will be selling raffle tickets on my stall up until 12, like midday.
Excellent. Raffle tickets. And there are over 25, 40, 30. How many prizes did you say there were?
26 currently.
26 prizes. Wow, fantastic. I
Yeah,
myself
really.
donated a prize. Loads of people have donated a prize.
Yeah. Amazing stuff.
So, yeah, it really is amazing. So this is obviously the biggest show yet for the Ant Exhibition UK. You have done also, you've done Bristol previous to this. Is that the only other show you've done prior to this? Have you done? Because I know later this year you've got Bristol and Weymouth lined up for this year. Now Weymouth is obviously your local.
Yeah.
So and you've not done that one before, have you? So
never. No.
I actually thought that would have been your first choice, because obviously it's your local. You know, see how things go, set your stall out, see how things go, and then take it from there. But instead, you went to Bristol first, and now you're coming up to us, and then you're going back to your home one. So yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of a weird way to do it, I suppose, but it made sense in my head. So to start off, it wouldn't make sense to start in Weymouth because there's just very little interest locally, if you know what I mean. It's very closed. So I thought Bristol's quite a nice central location to pull in people from a wider area. And then Sheffield, I was... When doing the Bristol show, so many people said they can't make it because it's too far south, or that, you know, there was a lot of call for it to be moved up north. So I said, I'll do that as well. It just kind of, it just happened, you know. I sent a few emails, got a message back from the venue almost straight away, and it just steamrolled from there. When, you know, when they said yes, I just ran with it, basically. The hardest part is actually finding a venue that will allow it to happen. I'm not sure if it's like they're worried they're all going to get out, or I don't know, but quite a lot of venues are a bit iffy when you say you're going to have bugs and ants and stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine. Although I don't know, because they're invertebrates, as from a I guess from a logistical point of view, in terms of like the politics around the building itself, the council or whoever owns the building, I suppose there's no real legislation involved, is there? There's no issues. No. It's not like with like reptiles and vertebrates and things like that, you know, which obviously you wouldn't touch that with a barge pole. But with invertebrates, there is no real issue, is there, surrounding the legislation side of things? So it's not like you have to have any health checks or, you know, or inspectors, anything like that coming in to sort everything out, you know. So
yeah, it's a lot easier than a reptile show. We did look at having reptiles, and it's something that we might well do in the very distant future. But like you say, the politics and things behind it definitely make the show a lot more difficult, and it's just it's a bit too much for me to take on myself.
Yeah, I think ease yourself in first, man, you know, before you start taking over the world, you know. Just
yeah. I mean, the massive difference I've already noticed between the Bristol show and this show was when I did the Bristol show, I went with one duffel bag full of stuff, including stuff that I was living in for the weekend. I had one duffel bag and about 3 screwed up pieces of paper in my pocket, which I had hand drawn and written on. This time I've literally got just piles and piles of boxes and enclosures and like a stack of paperwork about that thick. And it's very different, like a whole nother level, if you know what I mean. I can feel it evolving into I suppose, a more professional show.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a testament to you for you. You know, you've driven this. You've pushed it. You've shown the universe your intent, and this is what you're getting back. So you know.
Well, thank you.
No, you deserve it, man. You've obviously worked very, very, very hard, and we get to have another show. We get to have another show, and hopefully you'll stay with us up north, so to speak. You'll continue. Yeah. You might not do it at the same venue, obviously, because transportation and parking is potentially going to be an inhibiting issue for that particular show. But hopefully, moving forward next year, you'll continue to do a show for us up here, because you know you'll probably often hear, you may or may not know, but there's a lot of disgruntled northerners around up here, because for the majority of the shows they're all kind of down south, so to speak. Yeah. I mean, I do all the invert shows. I do the reptile shows as well. I do probably 12, 13 shows a year, and I would say now that what was my local show, which was just Doncaster and Manchester, which were only like within 45 minutes to an hour drive for me, they were like my local shows. They've now moved to Milton Keynes, so now basically there's only one show, which is the Northern Invert show, the Barnsley show. That's within 2.5 hours drive of me. All the other shows, all like the others, are at least 2.5 hours to 4 to 5 hour drive away for me. I mean, I still do them because you know it's a big part of my annual income to do the shows, you know, and everything else. But it would be nice to have more shows a little bit closer to home. And Sheffield is basically, you know, it's half an hour away from me, 35, 40 minutes max. So it's nice. It'll be nice to have a relatively local show. So I'm hoping that you will continue to do a show, because the thing is as well, because it's a brand new show, and because it's got a lot more things going on, like we've already described it as more of a festival of invert as opposed to an invert selling show. Obviously, the jury's out as to what sort of, whether or not, you know, people are actually going to come to the show to actually spend money, or whether or not they're going to be there just to have a family day out. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. It's sort of it's an enigma. Is that the word?
Unknown. It's an unknown as well.
Yeah, it is very much like, but it's what I've been wanting to do. You know what I mean? It's what I really. It's the vision I had. It is really turned out almost exactly what I wanted for the day. Yeah. I mean, the name alone, kind of the Great Ant Exhibition. Obviously, the Great Exhibition was meant to be like a showcase of all the newest innovations and all the coolest things in engineering at the time. So it's like, it's riding on the back of that. It's the Great Ant Exhibition. Get all the new ant stuff out there, all the cool invert stuff, and really just make a day of it, you know? Yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah. Do you think moving forward, do you think you will keep the name the Great Ant Exhibition, or could that possibly alienate certain people from wanting to maybe come along, because they might just see the word ant and it might just immediately just think like, well, it's not really for me. I'm not into ants. I'm not really bothered. Yeah. In reality, it's actually so much more. And the ant side of things is actually just one section of lots of things going on. So
it's a hard one, because for me it was always supposed to be an ant show with invert there, if you know what I mean. So it is a hard one for me, and I do like the name, but it might get changed to something like just the Ant Exhibition UK Sheffield or something like that in the future, because that is technically what we're registered as, is Ant Exhibition UK. But the Weymouth show is called the Jurassic Coasts Wild Exhibition. Again, it's an exhibition of all the cool things from where I am on the Jurassic Coast. So it's sort of the same name, sort of different. But again, it's not just the ants. I wanted to show it was. Yeah. So yes, I completely agree with what you're saying, and I probably will change it in the future. Yeah. I know it's something that the committee members did mention to me, and I just put my foot down and said no.
So, yeah, I mean, I can understand. I could understand you want to, you know, because this is the roots, right? This is where you put down your roots. The Great Ant Exhibition that's the brainchild, right? Obviously, and you want to stay true to that. I totally get that. But you know, you may have to think about. Obviously, Ant Exhibition UK is the umbrella company.
Yeah.
And when you do the different shows, like you've already said, the Weymouth kind of Jurassic Park, but I wish Jurassic Coast show, you know, so you've already got different names for different shows, and I think that could be the way forward.
Yeah.
Really.
It is definitely something I will look into, and I'm always open-minded. You know me. If someone says something, I always take it in and have a think about it, whether it's silly or not. Sorry. So yeah, I expect it will change. I mean, we've got 3 shows now, and we might have more in 2024. So yeah, we'll have to do a differentium somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm actually considering. I haven't spoken to the missus yet, but I am considering because the Weymouth show, is that in May? I think that's
May 13th.
Yeah, I'm thinking of seeing if the missus wants to go on go down south for a little, because it's her birthday. It's her birthday the week after, and I was thinking we could like go down, stay in a little cottage or something somewhere down on the coast for a few days. My light's gone out. and then I could sneak off for the day and do the whole Weymouth show. You know, come and see you guys, check it out, and you know. So I'd really quite like to do that. I'm just gonna change my light.
That's all right. The Weymouth show is actually going to be really good. The local council have got behind it, like really behind it. We've got the mayors involved and things like that. So they're really like, I used to work for the council, so it's kind of, I've contacted a few of my old contacts, things like that, and like, let's get some advertising out. So they're kind of letting me go a bit wild with what I want to do with Weymouth, which is brilliant. It fits really, like there's something on in Weymouth every weekend in May, apart from the weekend we chose. So when we chose it, they were a bit like, well, that works perfectly, you know. So they've really got behind it and backing us to, like, we might have a trail of ants the entire length of the seafront. Like we've got permission for it. It's just whether I can make it happen. So yeah, we've got some pretty cool stuff that we've been allowed, like been given permission to do, you know.
Yeah, well, it's a beautiful part of the world, obviously, the whole Jurassic Coast area, you know, and obviously you can still go down there, and if you're very, very lucky, you can still find some fossils and various other things. So I mean, there's so much natural historical kind of value to be gotten from there. I mean, there's just a wealth of history over down there. So I imagine at a show like that, you'll get some of the local traders coming in, you know, some of the local kind of shops who sell the fossils and do some of the, maybe the local university will probably be involved. And I imagine it's amazing actually. So this is why I'm really keen to come along, to be honest. So
you should. Like, we've already taken quite a few bookings from, like you say, local stores and people like that. Bournemouth University are sending over quite a few lecturers for our stages as well, because I'm sort of going off the same format as the Sheffield show, just because it's easy to replicate. 2 stages, exhibit section and a trade section again. So yeah, it's starting to fill up already and looking really, really cool.
Wow, man. Yeah, that sounds really, really good. So yeah, I mean, it's all about rolling out the format, right? Really. So you know, if Sheffield's almost like the template for the new for the future of the exhibits, I guess. So
it's pretty much. That's what I'm going to be going off from for the future shows this year, at least, is how I've done it for Sheffield. It's worked and it's been organised for me, easy for everyone to understand. And my last year, when we did the Bristol show, the map that I had complaints about the map because I had hand drawn it, and it was very last minute. This time, like, the maps have been all done properly.
So there you go. So if are people getting leaflets on the way into the show with like the schematics, the blueprint of the event?
I wish I did have that done, and it was something I wanted to get done. But if I'm completely honest, I went slightly a bit over budget on this show, so we had to cut out things like that. There will be maps and schedules posted around, like in displayable areas, but I didn't have enough to get the flyers done in the end.
Yeah, well, I think there's plenty of. Is there somewhere people can go? Because I think I know you've already posted floor plans of where all the traders are going to be located.
Yeah.
Is that easily accessed on the website or anything?
Yeah, it's on the website. There's if you go to the main clicky thing, when you click on the event, go down in the read more section towards the very bottom. There's map room 1 and map room 2. Just click on the link and it brings it up for you straight away. Where every vendor's going to be, where the stages are, and if you can kind of decipher nothingness, you can work out which exhibits will be where as well. Yeah. They're just like one letter on each table, so I know, but no one else does.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. So there you go. Claire and Gav have both just put some Facebook links up there. Obviously, the website is there as well, and obviously we've got the website running along the bottom all the way. So if anyone's interested, guys, listen up. We've got so there's 3 shows. There's 3 shows this year, guys. It's not just so we're focusing on the Sheffield show because that is the show that is this Saturday. This Saturday, guys, on the 11th, 10 till 4, the Ants on a Rock exhibition at Sheffield. There you go. So all the details, go over to Thomas's website and all the information is there. But not only is this show in Sheffield, there's also the Bristol show and the Weymouth show. So when is the Bristol show, Thomas?
The Bristol show is the 5th of August and the Weymouth one is the 13th of May.
Right, so we've got the 13th. So we've got Saturday in Sheffield, then we've got Weymouth in May, and then Gav's trying to kill us, or was that Steph? I think that was
Steph. Yeah, Steph.
Oh my goodness. So there you go. So that's 3 shows. My goodness, dude, you've really gone for it, man. I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed.
Thank you.
Honestly. And you know, you're going to be a busy boy. You're going to be a busy boy because you're talking about wanting to also diversify on the website, do more on the website, take in. I mean, how many species of ants are available on the website right now?
Around 20, maybe 25.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. And I assume that that's a variety of levels. So you've got the Lasius niger, which is what we've already been discussing, and that's like the beginner. That's the absolute beginner sort of level. Yeah. So what have you got? Like a few beginners, some intermediary, and then like the more advanced.
Pretty much. I haven't got the most advanced ones yet, and some of the exotics, mainly because the extra facilities that I need to care for them whilst they're here. Basically, I just haven't had the time to expand in that direction yet. But we will. It's something that is highly on the cards because we want to get more exotics in. Obviously, they all need different heat temperatures. It's just a bit more to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? It's tricky.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's I'm the same. I try to provide, you know, a variety of inverts for a variety of like levels, beginners, intermediates, and more exotic stuff. But you know, unfortunately, the more exotic ones are for more experienced keepers for a reason, because they require the extra. They just require extra attention on all levels, whether it be, you know, heat, temperature, humidity, living conditions, food, and not just that. The way that and I imagine the ants are the same. The way that the individuals develop themselves is more complex.
Yes.
You know, it's just it's at every level there's more complexity, layers of complexity, and obviously if you want to provide people with the more complex and more exotic stuff, you've also got to step up your game.
That's it. Yeah.
You know, because you can't just buy stuff in and then sell it on into, well, you can, but if you want to do the more exotic stuff, you can't just buy stuff in at a high price and then stuff just dies on you and then you just make a loss immediately, you know. So obviously it's not fair on the individuals, you know, themselves obviously as well. And so there's a whole other level to providing people with the slightly more experienced stuff. I think Thomas might have gone. Am I here? So it looks like it's just me. So Gab's there anyway. I knew you were there anyway, Gab. So because I could still hear Steph coughing.
Dying.
Oh my goodness, Steph, you don't sound well. Are you all right?
I've just got a cold, Mitch.
Okay.
Just
bless you.
taking one back to him.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we might have lost Thomas. He did say that
until his phone died.
He did say he was going to stay with us until his phone died, and that's why I was keen to do a bit, just keep chopping and changing, focus more, because obviously we're really here mainly just to talk about the exhibition, but I also wanted us all to get to know Thomas a little bit more, and obviously because even though a lot of people are getting to know him these last several months, there's still a lot of people who don't know Thomas. And honestly, as you've seen from tonight, he's such a nice bloke. He's a family man. He's an amazing guy. He's very, very knowledgeable about many things, not just ants. And so I don't know whether Thomas will be coming back to us or not. But we'll hang around a little bit longer. I did say I was going to only do like till 10 o'clock or something like that. So anyway, how's everybody in the chat? I'm sorry, I was so engrossed in talking to Thomas. I really need to learn to try and just dip in and out of the chat a little bit more often, actually. So anyway, I hope everybody's all right in the chat. Has there been anything outstanding waiting to go over or anything? I think
no.
I think the thing is, I think we probably covered. Yeah, I think we probably covered a lot of what a lot of people were maybe curious about in the general chat that we were having, I think. So I don't know whether. So just to say, anyway, guys, I don't know whether Thomas is coming back or not. He'll maybe drop me a message when he's found a charger for his phone. So yeah, he does seem a lovely fella, and you're right, he is. He's such a nice bloke. I met him early last year, and I just stumbled across him, to be honest. I was just like, I can't even remember how I stumbled across him. I think I just stumbled across his YouTube channel, and he was doing one of his live streams, and I was just watching, and I was just, no, what was it, Gab?
No, he messaged me originally.
Oh, did he?
And I sent him your way.
Ah, okay. What was he asking about? I can't even remember.
I think he thought that I had more to do with Unseen Universe itself.
Oh, he was interested
and I said, no, unique boss. And then
right, okay. Yeah.
That was when that show was first being organised.
Yeah, I remember now. I remember now. Yes. So there you go. So and we'll just see. Obviously, Thomas is such a nice guy, and he's easy to get along with. So listen. So just to say, obviously, I would have done all this in the wrap up once we were saying goodbye to Thomas. If anybody's interested, obviously, in ants, in getting an ant colony, or just curious about wanting more information, I mean, obviously. I imagine it's quite daunting, isn't it? The idea of keeping ants, because it's so different, I think, to what a lot of people are maybe used to. You'd be a bit concerned about killing the colony, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of debate around, like, keep the conditions need to be perfect. But as Thomas pointed out tonight, there are a few species, like our very own garden ant, the Lasius niger, are actually quite hardy, and like in most areas of the invert world, there are, you get your hardy ones and your more complicated ones. So there are species out there, guys. Okay, yeah. Will do, my friend, will do. Sorry I've not been available for the last couple of weeks. I'm not going to go into it, but it's just my life's just been drama for quite a few weeks now, and I'm literally only just feel like I can start thinking about other things other than my 3-foot circle. So anyway, like I was saying, there are hardy species out there, like the Lasius niger, and I'm sure Thomas has got a couple of other species as well on the website. If it's something you're vaguely or just mildly curious about, or you've decided you've been thinking about it for a while, I really want an ant colony, I don't know, I ain't got a clue what to do. Thomas has already said, please message Thomas, go see him. Don't just go on his website and be all daunted by being confronted with all these products and information. If you've got any concerns, please speak to Thomas. He's always saying, I'm more than happy to talk to people. And he loves it. He loves educating people. He loves teaching people. He loves, no problem, will do. Because
I've got something to send her anyway. So
okay, cool. Yeah, there you go. Gav will sort you out. They're all at Gav's house anyway. They all said so. He'll sort you out, mate. Don't worry. So yeah, I'll just finish off by saying, so there you go. Go, Thomas. He's your man. He's your ant guy. Please go support Thomas. He's given us all so much. He's putting these shows on. He's done it all. Like I said, he has got a committee of people who direct him and help him make decisions and do things. But he is basically doing a lot of this by himself, and he's just done such an amazing job. Yeah, I'm really impressed with this guy. So yeah, it's been a privilege to get to know him. So if you want to support Thomas and you are thinking about getting into ants, please go see Thomas. Message him. He said he's on all the platforms. He's everywhere. So drop him a message. Ask him your questions. He will be more than happy to help. I know that our Claire won the starter kit. I think. What was it? It was Claire, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Claire won the starter kit for the ants on Thomas's website, and she says he's been nothing but helpful. He's answers all her questions, sends little photos, videos, loads of information, absolutely everything. So we're going to get some sort out in here. I'm looking forward to that. As soon as we get round to sorting out the other half, the messy half of the shed that nobody ever gets to see. I am definitely carving out a whole section for an ant colony. I'm gonna put it to one side. I'm gonna have a little bit first, and then I'm hoping something we'll have ant cam and everything going on. I'm really excited. Anyway, that's enough of that. It doesn't look like Thomas is coming back, so there you go. Right. Anyway, George, don't suppose you could help me find the winner of my Atlas moth frame? I have. Yes, mate. Listen. So while we're all here and Thomas is gone, before I leave, I do want to just say I'm sorry. Okay, I'm really, really sorry, everyone. I know I promised I was going to be on it in January to do the let's all get back together, let's all get back together stream, and and talk about how amazing the whole fundraiser was, and how amazing you all are, and talk about how much we'd made and everything. And I know it's not happened, and I'm really sorry. And I know I should have done that before I did anything else. But because this show is on Saturday, and I'd already promised Thomas a little bit of airtime and that I would do this stream with him, I felt like we had to we had to do him first, get Thomas on, talk about the show, give it the respect it deserves and the limelight. And I promise, I do promise, once the dust settles, we'll come back and we will do that stream. I may even do it next. I have actually got the table with all the prize winners and all the prize donators. I just need to figure out a way to make it so I can post it on my page, because as you can imagine, the list is epic. There's over 100 prizes that were won. So I promise I will. I'm still getting messages from people who are a bit confused about where they're getting their prizes from and things like that. So I'm going to basically post this list, and it's got all the prizes and all the prize winners. I will do that next week. Once I've got Saturday out of the way, I've got 2 weeks before Taunton. I promise I'm going to focus on doing the fundraiser stuff. I need to get the list posted. We'll have a little stream for an hour or so. We'll talk about everything that we won, that we've raised, and all that good stuff. And we will do that. I promise, guys. I promise. I am going to do it. I'm going to squeeze it in between Saturday's Sheffield show and Taunton show, which I think is on the 26th of February. So I've got 2 weeks. I've got to get it done, guys, because I've got my Bugfest thing starting as well. I've got my first Bugfest gig, which is an all-dayer at a special educational needs school. That's on the 8th of March. So, and I've still got all the preparations for that to do. I'm really feeling a bit overwhelmed, but I've got to get stuff sorted out. So, so there you go. That's what's happening in the next few weeks. I hope you liked the. This is the first time we've had like. Well, it's not the first time we've had guests on, is it, Gav? We've had people on like for the shows and stuff with last year when we did a few. We had a few people on before, but I've basically what I'm doing right now. This spotlight thing. This is something that I actually wanted to do like the whole of last year, but it just didn't happen. So basically, I've got a few ideas. I'm not going to talk about what the other things we've got, but I am definitely going to be doing. I'm going to aim to do a stream 3 times a month. I would love to do a stream every week, 4 times, 4 weeks, 4 times in a month. But the reality is that there's a show every month, basically. So there's just no way I'm going to be doing a stream of any real content the weekend of the show. It's just not going to happen. I'd love to say, yes, I'll do it, but it's just not going to happen. Gab knows how crazy it is around here, around show weekend. There's just no time for anything else. We barely have time to get ready for the shows, let alone doing live streams as well. So I've got a few ideas. I'm definitely going to be doing this spotlight 1 week of the month, and that's either going to be a review of some sort, which I'm keeping under my hat, but it's also going to be like having people on. So we've had Thomas on this time, and I'm hoping to get people on, just people, random people, some of your favorite people from around the bug community and all that stuff. Yeah, it's all right, Thomas. We know, man. We knew it was going to happen, mate. It's all good, man. It's all good. And then obviously I want to do the Price is Right. So if you saw my new intro for my YouTube channel, it basically advertises all the things I want to do. So the spotlight thing, the first of which has been tonight, the play your cards right, and then also a type of review. What was the other thing? You what, dude? Criticam. I knew there was something else. And we're going to start doing Criticam as well, again, guys, as well. So I'm hoping to do those 3 things, but I'm not going to get bogged down in saying I need to be doing all these 3 things every month, because it's just too much pressure, because I want to start doing videos as well now. I really want to start doing videos. So yeah. Bugfest. Yeah, well, I don't know whether you saw Nina last year. I did. So Nick Wadham, who's like the Bugfest guru, he's the guy, the brainchild behind Bugfest. If you've ever been to any of the invert shows, he has his Wild and Deadly show, which is like, it's basically aimed at kids and the families, and it's just all about like his super exuberant, childlike cartoon character self, telling a little story about bugs and basically just showing the kids, interacting with the kids, showing them their bug, all the different types of bugs. So it'll range from like snails and cockroaches to millipedes, huge stick insects, praying mantises, and tarantulas and various other things. And he'll just like talk to, but it's all like done in a more family orientated, aimed towards the kids. It's like, oh wow, and and all that sort of really animated sort of stuff. But Nick also does. So Nick's been doing Bugfest for many, many years. Greg and Rachel, we all know Greg. He helps. He's been helping for years with Bugfest as well. And Nick does these Bugfest shows. He does festivals. He does educational talks in schools and various other things. And this is something that I've really been wanting to get into for many years, to be honest. I've just not been able to, because I've just been so busy building Unseen Universe. I've not had time to do anything else really. And then last year, Nick asked me to put on the first ever Mantis Fest, which was part of the under the umbrella of Bugfest at Carfest. Sorry, I know it's a lot of fests. So Carfest Festival, which has obviously been going for 10 years now. Nick does Bugfest at that festival, and he asked me to do Mantis Fest as part of it. So I went along last year, did Mantis Fest. He was really happy with the whole thing, with the way it went, and we got into conversations, and I told him I really wanted to get more involved, and now he wants to spread Bugfest as well, because he's from quite far down south, and he's only got so much time to do different gigs around the southern areas. So he's got a few people on board. He's asked me to take care of like the northeast, and the Yorkshire area, and he's going to basically get me gigs in schools, various schools, colleges, doing like just all levels from like 6 to 7 year olds up to maybe teenage years sort of thing, doing like maybe educational talks, taking the bugs, talking about bugs, and just all that sort of thing. And I'm really excited. I actually start this year. So that's Bugfest. There you go. That's I'm actually starting that this year. Got my first gig on the 8th of March. It's a one-day event, and I've got several sessions with different kids and stuff like that. So I'm really, really excited. I just love that side of things, and it's something I've not done for such a long time. I'm really excited to get back into it. So I'm basically going to do a series of videos where I'm going to introduce to you guys all the different bugs that I'm planning on taking to Bugfest. It'll help me as well. It'll not only document what I'm doing, and so you guys can progress, can just see what I'm getting up to, but it'll also help me to learn more about what it is I'm going to be talking about at the schools and stuff. It'll help, if I make a video on it, then that'll help me cement my knowledge a little bit more. So yeah, that'll be good. That's why I had Gav make the. Well, I didn't have Gav make it. He actually, we had that telepathy thing going while I was at Carfest last year, where he had an idea and I had an idea, and I came back and it was already becoming a reality, and so Gav's made this a giant-sized raptorial arm, mantis arm for me that I can take into the schools and wow the kids. So this is what Gav's made for me. Look, this is going to be part of the show. So what I'm planning to do is go in, and I can talk about like mantis and how they catch their prey and how they've evolved to the tarsals, obviously, and so yeah, I'm really excited. That's so amazing. That is, man. I love it. I'm getting Gav to make me a couple of other things as well. I want. I think I've spoke to you about this, haven't I, Gav? I want to do the spider and way that they also
and then a new internet connection.
Pixies are censoring him.
Oh, God's sake!
Nobody knows his plans.
I need to speak to my electrician, man. I've got to get it sorted. So yeah, there you go. So I'm really, really excited, as you can tell. I can't wait to get started on that. I'm really nervous, but I'm really excited at the same time. It's a whole new venture for me. And yeah, am I back in the room? Can people hear me?
When I said that's when you were coming back.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so I'm really excited. I can't wait to get some kids' heads inside that mantis raptor. Yeah, I don't think I should do that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So that'll be exciting. It just gives me a chance to get back into like a bit more of the educational side of things. You know, it's interacting with the kids, and I'm really yeah, I'm loving it. I can't wait. So that'll be good. Right, how's everyone getting on anyway?
So wrong one. Can't be signed, Tim, Peter even, because my internet's fine.
Right. It's only because I'm in the shed. We're going to get it sorted out. Don't worry. I'm going to speak to my electrician, and I'm going to have I'm going to get it hardwired from the router directly into the shed. It's got to be done. Can't keep messing about like this. So, come on then, guys. Who's going to Sheffield on Saturday? Come on. Right, yes. Jackie's just messaged me. Please don't forget to bring those crochet spiders to Sheffield. If anybody has a prize from me and they want me to bring it to any of the shows, please remind me. What's that, Gav? Is that an Aruna sticker? Yeah.
It is. And then
there you go. Yeah, I've got your message too, Jackie. Don't worry. Yeah. Listen, send me another message on Friday. It's Friday tomorrow. Tomorrow night, send me a message, and I'll remember to put it in a bag and put it with all my stuff.
I'd already started. She mentioned it further up for me to remind you.
Yeah. She sent me a PM as well. So. Simon's going to be there. Oh, that'll be good, won't it? So there you go. There you go. Daisy and Charlotte will be there. They've both got tables. So yeah. Sorry, I just got an email from Joe. Did Jordan ask me a question earlier? He did, didn't he? He asked me who won. I'll tell you what, Jordan, I'll find that right now, dude. While we're all on air and we're live and we're stuff, I'll find it. Let me just bring up the spreadsheet. So yeah, anyway, guys, hopefully this is now we're back now. And I'll be doing some stuff. Just going to continue doing stuff because, well, life's just been completely mental, guys, since basically since the fundraiser. So I can only apologise again for my tardiness in sorting these prizes and fundraisers stuff out. Do you know the money's still sat? It's still active. You know, the Just Giving page. It's still active. I've done nothing with it at all. I need to get it sorted. It's just ridiculous. So
it's been one of them starts to year though, hasn't it?
Yeah, I can only apologise. If you've been following to be honest, what I posted about C's and everything, that's only half of what's been going on. That was just the cherry on the bloody on the cake. That was of all the crap that's been going on. But I'm hoping now, guys. I'm hoping that as of now, I'm going to start moving forward, get stuff sorted out, and we'll start being around a bit more. I'm going to try and aim for one stream a week. Like last year, I know I was doing like two streams a week and all that stuff. That's not going to happen this year. The main reason I was doing that last year is because I needed to get my my viewing hours up for the year, which I've achieved now, and I have to thank everybody for that, because it was the fundraiser was and all you guys tuning in watching the fundraiser, which allowed me to get over that 4,000 viewing hours for the year. So thank you to everyone. So now I've got the viewing hours, I can take the foot off the gas with the live streams a little bit, and we can focus more on quality, I think, hopefully, as opposed to quantity, which is what I was aiming for last year. So, right. So Jordan wanted to know who won his prize. Which prize is he wanting to know who won?
The Atlas moth.
The Atlas moth. Let me... Oh, my goodness. There's so many. I'll just see if I can find it, Jordan. Oh, God, there's so many, I can't find it. But anyway. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. Oh, there we go. Michael Hornsby. Michael Hornsby. There you go, Jordan. Michael Hornsby. I remember that because inevitably my mind went immediately to Hornby model railways, model trains. And we had a whole discussion about model trains and Pete Waterman being like really into his models and stuff. So I remember that. So there you go. Did he get that? So does anybody want to talk about it before I go? It's 10 o'clock. I'm going to go soon. No, you're welcome. Yeah. So I'm going to post the as soon as the show's out the way on Saturday, I'm going to post the list, the table, the epic list that I've generated of all the prizes and prize winners, because I know there's still a lot of people who aren't sure about who's won what and what they've won and who they've won it from and what to do and this, that, and the other. So well, once I post this this list next week, probably Sunday or Monday or something like that. Depends how long it takes me to recover after the show. I'm sure everyone will just be looking at the list and work out who where they are in that list. So I'm sure it'll all start moving forward after that. So Ian's in the house. How's it going, Ian? You all right, dude? Good. So yeah. Yeah, there you go. Claire's saying something about crochets. So she's obviously saying Daisy's going to do well. Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know what Mandy's on about. I think Mitch has taken mine and cut. Coloured it in. I don't know what she's on about. Anyway. Right then. If nobody else has got to talk about, I think we've covered what we wanted to talk about. I didn't want to go on for too much longer than 10 o'clock. So I guess it just leaves me to wrap things up and say a massive thank you to Thomas. Thomas Ants on a Rock. If you missed him, then go back. Please, if you've come in late or if you're tuning in or whatever, and you're wondering where Thomas is, his phone died after about an hour and a half. We knew it was going to be touch and go, but if you want to know all about Thomas, honestly, you couldn't meet a nicer guy, and he's very, very knowledgeable about ants and ant keeping, obviously, and then he's doing these amazing ant exhibitions, which are so much more than just ants, as we've been discussing tonight. So please, if you're interested in listening to what Thomas had to say about the exhibitions, the history of the exhibitions, and himself and his passion for ants and everything, we didn't talk too as much as I would have liked about Thomas himself, his history, his life, his passions, because obviously, you know, the guy's into many things. He's not just into ants, and he's very, very knowledgeable about many things. I really wanted to talk more about the rock that he lives on, which obviously I don't know if anybody knows, but Ants on a Rock actually gets its name from Portland. The Rock, as it's known, is the tiny island at which Thomas lives all the way down south. So that's where the name Ants on a Rock comes from. We didn't get a chance to talk about any of that. We didn't get a chance to talk about him and his home, and you know where he's from and the history, and because you know that sort of area, you know, Portland and all that kind of Devonshire coast and all that area, it's just got such a wealth of historical, just amazing history, both natural and societal. So yeah, I think we'll get Thomas back at some point, and we'll dig a bit deeper into him and his life and his passions, because he is such an interesting guy, and he tells me that he has trouble finding words, the right words, and sometimes language trips him up a little bit. But you know what? He speaks very, very well, and he comes across and he explains himself very, very clearly. So Thomas, if you're still watching or if you're out there, seriously, man, you have no problems there whatsoever. And the guy is just a walking encyclopedia when it comes to ants and such. So I'll just say one again, Thomas, thank you so much, dude. And I know everybody here in the chat was very impressed with your knowledge and how interesting you make ant keeping sound, and we're all very excited to basically just to see how things go, and how this whole progression, this whole ant and how Ants on a Rock evolves, but also the ant exhibitions themselves as well. So again, Thomas, if you're watching, mate, thank you so much, my friend. It's been absolutely fantastic, and I know you're a very busy man, so we really appreciate you coming along and giving us your time. I feel bad that I weren't able to just like big him up at the end, you know, but hopefully if he's watching, he knows. He's not the kind of guy who wants to be patted on the back all the time anyway, you know. He just gets on with his. This is what's cool about him, you know. He just gets on.
Yeah, he's done it for the passion, not the ego.
Yeah, exactly. Cans off. See you later, Canned. I'm going to wrap things up now anyway, because it's nearly 10:10, and yeah, I've got to go and pick Van up tomorrow. Yeah. Anyway, right then, guys. I think I'm gonna go. Ian says he loves Portland. Stayed there in an Airbnb. There you go. So there you go. Right then, guys. Well, thank you to everyone for tuning in, and yeah, hopefully we'll do another one of these next month. I'm hoping to squeeze in what date are we on? Oh, it's actually still quite early in February, isn't it? So I'm hoping to squeeze in. Maybe a play your cards right next. What do you reckon, Gav? I don't know. We'll see. I'm either going to do a play your cards right or a Criticam next. So basically, even though I might not have time to do all 3 or 4 things in a month, it'll probably just spill out over a rotation cycle over 4, 5, 6 weeks sort of thing. But I'm definitely going to do alternate things. So next we'll either do Price is Right or we'll do Criticam next. So that'll be good. I'm looking forward to that.
We'll do Play Cards Right as well.
Yeah, exactly. What did I say? Did I do it
What
again?
do you always say?
Oh, did I say Price is Right? God's sake, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with this brain?
Do you know, people just know what you mean anyway now, because it's like you can guarantee every time you'll say that first.
What is wrong with me? I just seriously, man, I've got like a.
Because you do it even when you're just talking to me, when we're like talking about what we might do, and it's like.
I think we should just start doing prices right. I don't even know why.
You really could though. Like
I know. Yeah, we could definitely.
We'll talk later.
We'll have a talk about that. There are, I could definitely. I have thought about that because what we could do is we could say, right, vivarium, invert.
And the majority of things are like they're pretty much around the same sort of price right across.
Yeah.
Different vendors.
Yeah. So we could do that. That'd be good. That'd be good fun. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm definitely going to do that. We'll have a think about that. We'll do a play your cards right next, and we'll have a think about maybe doing prices right as well, because I think that'd be good fun. I'll probably just I might don't know. I've got an idea for the sponsor for the prices right. I think it might be an Aruna Exotics Spooky Dukes combo, because I've got some leftovers from the I've got some leftovers from Secret Santas that I didn't get through. And I've got a bunch of stuff from Dawn which I've still not sorted out.
Yeah, so I've heard.
Yeah,
to check.
Yeah,
some foam popper or something.
Yeah, I'll show you anyway. I'll show you all the stuff when you come around tomorrow. So anyway, so there you go, guys. We might do a price. We might do it.
See?
I don't even know what's going on.
He's like you're hardwired to say that one.
Right, we're going to do play your cards right next, guys. I think we're going to do play your cards right next. And so we're looking for contestants. Who wants to be on? Does anybody want to be on? Play your cards right, guys. If you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, I'm going to put a little mishmash of bits and pieces, like an advert. I'll put a little advert together. If you're interested, if you want to know what the heck we're talking about, if you go to my on my YouTube channel, there's a playlist, and it's Play Your Cards Right. There's only 2 episodes in there. I can't believe. I feel like we've been doing Play Your Cards Right for years, and we've only ever done 2 official episodes.
Yeah, that's it. It's because of how many we did behind the scenes.
Yeah, we did absolutely loads. Me, Gav, and Steph behind the scenes, where it was just practicing. Me basically trying to get my patter down. And we're gonna have to do it all again because I've forgotten everything. So if you're interested in Play Your Cards Right, guys, and if you're a bit too young and you don't really know what the heck I'm talking about, if you go to the playlist Play Your Cards Right on my YouTube channel, there's 2 episodes. It's a lot of fun, and I think we might do that next. There you go. If anybody's interested, guys, just let me know. We'd be up for it, says the Sergeants. You can always rely on the Sergeants, man, can't you? Met Gemma, didn't tell you, did I? Met Gemma and Mark at Seas. They came over.
Yeah.
So that was nice. Nice to meet you at Seas, Gemma. I don't know if Mark's still there, but there you go. Gemma says she'd be up for it again. Mel and Crystal would be too. Yeah, I'm sure they would. So there you go. We've got 4 contestants right there. Boom. So there you go. Sorry, Katrina, it's all over, I'm afraid. Nearly. We've pretty much done. Dementia doesn't my mates call me. Oh my goodness.
Dementia Doreen.
Do you know what? It's just that one thing. And do you know what? I've done it since the start, haven't I, Gav? Right from the start. Like last year when I first had the brainchild of doing Play Your Cards Right, for some reason I keep calling it. I keep calling it that. Oh my god! I've got to stop saying it. Got to stop saying it.
Yeah, that won't happen.
I'm fine with everything else. Just that. Oh, right then, guys. I think I'm gonna go because it's 10:15, and I've got a lot to do. I've still got so much to do. Do you know what, Gav? I've done nothing. I've done 2 species. so far. I've still got everything to do tomorrow. Yeah. Anyway, the thing is, I'm not taking as much as what I normally would take because I don't think it's going to be worth it.
Yeah.
I know I've got 3 tables, but I'm planning on taking some of the custom aquaria tanks because I know Matthew won't be there. So I thought I'd just I'd half fill a table with custom aquaria tanks. Since I don't have any like mesh top mantis tanks anymore, I just haven't got any. But anyway, right, guys. I think I'm going to wrap this up. I don't think we need to have a big crescendo finish, dude. I'm just going to end the stream. So don't worry about it. I'll just end it. I might put my little advert on again, actually. Just because I quite like it. I need to trim it a little bit here and there, though. So. Right then, guys. Anyway, I'm going to go. Thank you so much again to Thomas. We've done a big Thomas roundup. Don't forget, if you want to get anything to do with ants or you want any information about the shows upcoming, whether it be Sheffield, Bristol or Weymouth, go on the Ants on a Rock website. And if you're still not sure, please contact Thomas. He's always more than happy to help. So if you want any advice or if you're interested in getting into ants, please go see Thomas. He'll be more than happy to help. So thank you to everyone again. And if anyone is coming on Saturday, please come and say hi. I'm in room 2. I'll be there. So as well as many people. I know that out of people in the chat, I think Daisy and oh my God, I forgot her name. Charlotte. Daisy and Charlotte are going to be there. Just dementia's kicking in again. Daisy and Charlotte are going to be there, and I don't know who else out of the chat. I don't know if anybody else is. I know Simon said he's going to be there. I don't know if anybody else is going. So yeah, come along, please come along. It's only at Sheffield. It's only £5 to get in, and bring your kids. It's a family day. It's free for under 13s. So there you go. Can say Price is Right, says Can. We're not doing it, man. We're not doing it. So there you go. Thanks again, Thomas. Thank you to everyone in the chat. I hope you've enjoyed. We've finally got back together again since Christmas. I hope everyone's all right, and I promise there will be more to come. I've done hiding now, and it's time to move on. So life's like there's just so much to do. I've got so much lined up over this year. I ain't got time to hide. So I'm back. So thanks to Gav again, obviously, for helping out with the chat and all that stuff. And thanks to Claire, obviously, our Claire, for dropping those links and helping out, keeping the rammel under control in the chat as well. And thank you so much. No, you're welcome. Right then, guys. Thank you so much again. Bring everyone, says Katrina. Bring everyone, says Katrina. No, you're welcome. Thomas is an awesome guy. Everyone's starting to realise that, and he's more than welcome to have him in our little community. So there you go. Right then, guys, I'm definitely going to go this time. So thank you to everyone, and if I don't see you Saturday, I'll see you maybe at Taunton 2 weeks after that, and if not, I will definitely be back here doing some kind of live stream and hopefully some videos to come in the near future as well. So thanks again to everybody. See you soon, and good night.